Hi, I'm Sharice Watson, and I've been through the menopause roller coaster. Welcome to But My Vagina Still Works, the podcast, mental well-being and lifestyle changes. Hi, welcome to But My Vagina Still Works, the podcast, mental well-being and lifestyle changes. I'm your host, Sharice Watson, and I'm so excited to be here with you because I've wanted to create a space where we can talk about menopause freely, openly, and share with each other the healing, pleasure, power, and everything in between. Today, I want to kick things off by sharing my own personal story, who I am, and what I've lived through, and why I wrote this journal. Okay? So let's get started. Sit down and let's talk about me. So, my menopause experience started probably 20 years ago, believe it or not, 20 years ago. When I was around 43, I realized I was in menopause. And it wasn't because I went to the doctor and they did a hormone check on me. It was because my menstrual cycle started acting really weird, like really weird. And some of you may be going through that right now. And let me tell you, it's called perimenopause. Okay. So listen, my period started acting really weird. And I knew then that something different was happening to me. And I began to exhibit other symptoms other than menstrual cycle symptoms. In fact, I believe that I personally experienced every menopause symptom known to womankind. And so I know how some of you are feeling, like your body is betraying you. But I want to encourage you with this episode that although your body is going through many changes, everything's going to be all right. Now, let's move on to how we can discover some solutions for healing. Okay, because once I came out of a 10-year menopause fog, that's what I call it. Okay, I feel like I was in a menopause fog for at least 10 years. And once I came out of that, I decided that I needed to help other women to go through this transition easier. That's my mission now, till I'm not here anymore. And the reason I wanted to do that is because of the things that I went through virtually alone. Many of you are going through this alone as well right now. And I am here. BMVSW, the podcast, is here so that we can share our experiences and help each other through this. Now, because I came out of the menopause fog, I decided to share the holistic solutions that worked for me. And I wrote this journal called But My Vagina Still Works. And this journal is available in two different forms on the internet. It's available on Amazon for purchase. It's available on Barnes and Noble for purchase. And it is also in ebook form on Beacons AI. So you can also get the journal there. And what we'll be doing each week is going through sections of the journal through my personal stories so that I can share with you the holistic solutions that worked for me during my time experiencing menopause. Now, the reason that I put it in journal form, because it didn't really start out that way, I really just wanted to tell a story about what I went through. Just tell the story. But then I decided that because journaling had helped me through this experience, that it would help others as well. So I decided instead of just writing a book about my experience, that I would also include the holistic solutions that worked for me. And a bonus to that is that there is space in the journal to write which holistic solutions you're trying, how they worked for you, so you can keep track of it. Because a lot of times that's what you need on this journey. Everything's not going to work for everybody. So there are many solutions in the journal to try and a place for you to keep track of what's working for you. Now, I also want to talk about this podcast and the reason for it. Now, the journal talks about many holistic solutions. One among them that is a little unusual and different. However, once we begin to study more the science behind this solution, you'll see that it's probably one of the best things for women in menopause, in perimenopause, postmenopause, and menopause. Okay, so this solution that I'm speaking of is cannabis. And the reason it works so well is because we have a system within our bodies called the endocannabinoid system. So basically, you are producing cannabinoids in your body already. The plant is just a match to what's already in your system. And the endocannabinoid system is so crucial to the menopause experience. The reason it regulates mood, body temperature, so many things that go haywire during menopause. So that is why the endocannabinoid system, once we start losing estrogen, starts to fail us. And what way better to strengthen the endocannabinoid system than with cannabis? But a lot of people do not look at that as an option because it may not be legal in every state. Okay, so you can use that solution if it's legal and if it is available to you. However, you may not have that. So there are other holistic solutions in the journal, but My Vagina Still Works, for you to try and to keep track of. Now, one of the most debilitating symptoms for me was depression. A lot of people go through seasonal depression, and that was me. For many years, I suffered from seasonal depression. However, during menopause, I want to stress to you that a lot of the issues you may be suffering from now, health issues, will be exacerbated during menopause and magnified and become even worse. So my seasonal depression became worse and became very debilitating. And I had to seek professional help. And that was through a therapist. And it did help me. The therapist put me on antidepressants. And for a while, it seemed to help. The antidepressants, though, had a side effect, which was weight gain. And I was already experiencing problems with weight gain because of what happens in menopause. When you begin to lose estrogen, your cortisol level increases, and that causes you to have a lot of stress. And so, stress causes you to gain weight, especially high cortisol levels. So, along with that was already happening because of menopause, I also, with the antidepressants, was gaining more weight. So imagine that, right? So I have all these symptoms. I have depression. I have sleep disturbances. I have low libido, all at the same time. And each one is getting worse and worse. The depression was getting worse and worse. And so twice during my menopause journey, I attempted suicide. And I'm not happy that that happened to me. It's when I look back on it, I become very sad because I didn't have the support that I needed. I was trying to get it, and the things that I was trying wasn't working. So that is when I was introduced to cannabis as a way of relieving some of these symptoms. And it was around my birthday in 2017. So this is well into my menopause journey. and someone gave me a brownie with THC in it. And it was immediate symptom relief for me. Immediate symptom relief. Immediate symptom relief in depression. Immediate symptom relief in low libido. Immediate symptom relief for sleep disturbances. So many of my menopause symptoms were eased with cannabis and THC. I cannot stress how the quality of my life changed during my menopause journey by introducing cannabis to relieve my symptoms. Now, I know the controversy behind cannabis. And not only that, but like I said before, it's not legal in every state. So, not everybody is going to find it easy to introduce this as one of the solutions that you use. So, but I just wanted to make sure that I speak on that because it is very important to me, especially the fact that cannabis, THC, helped me to ease one of the most debilitating symptoms, depression. And so I cannot go through this journey of trying to help people and not talk about where I got and still get my most of my help from. And that is in the journal. The story of my attempted suicide is in the journal. And so I'm sharing these things because I want to help. I want to help every woman that wants to be helped, that is desiring the help. I know that there are people out there who are purposed to hear my message already by the universe. So I want to encourage you on this journey to menopause wellness that you are not alone. I went through everything you're going through, probably even more. And I'm here to tell you that you will come through this. You will be so powerful. You won't even recognize yourself, probably. You'll be so victorious. And I know this because I came through. And when I did, what I did was say, wow, my vagina still works. Wow, my vagina still works. And why did I say that? Because also low libido was one of my symptoms that had me in a chokehold, and my husband. But, once I found the solution for me and it worked, I couldn't help but just exclaim, oh, my vagina still works. And that's why I named the journal that. But my vagina still works. I went through all that, but my vagina still works. And I want everyone to celebrate their vagina still working. So, this is the podcast where you can do that. I want to hear from you all. I want you to share your stories with me. I want you to subscribe to this wonderful connection that we're going to make. I want you to subscribe. I want you to tell your friends. There's a lady out here with a podcast who says her vagina still works and yours can too. Once you come through that hard part of menopause. And I'm not saying it's easy, it's not, but it's well worth the journey. It is well worth the journey. So let's do this together. Subscribe to my podcast, okay? Subscribe, share it with other women. Go out and get this journal. If you don't get the copy from Amazon, go to Beacons AI and get the ebook journal because you can still type in your prompts and the things that work for you on the ebook as well. So it's available for you. And I want everyone who gets this journal to share with me also how it helped you out. What are some of the things you tried? You can reach me at ShariceWatson@gmail.com to share your stories with me. And I'd love to talk about them with you. So tune in weekly. We're going to have episodes weekly on But My Vagina Still Works, the podcast, mental well-being and lifestyle changes. I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in to But My Vagina Still Works, the podcast, mental well-being and lifestyle changes. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, share, and leave a review. Also, don't forget to pick up a copy of But My Vagina Still Works. You can get it from Amazon and in ebook form on Beacons AI. And join the Menopause Warriors every Sunday at 9:30 a.m. on TikTok Live. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast because everything is greater later.